Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, August the 9th, 2019. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about the mobile app, a little bit about some glitches in general. We're also going to be talking about the USPS acting in a very fishy manner, and I'm going to cite examples from both the buyer and the seller perspectives. I also want to spend a bit of time discussing your comments, questions, and concerns from my last several videos, because you guys really had a lot of good comments, and you're to be commended for that. So let's get started first off with your comments, questions, and concerns. First, I have a couple of comments from the Steve Rakin video. Mercedes Lux wrote, "Thumbs up on this video. Thank you, Steve and Joe, for sitting down and making this video for us. I soak up anything eBay. This was a nice break for me, watching this video instead of laying tile in my kitchen." Thank you for the positive comments there, Mercedes Lux. A comment from Wafu. Great video. You guys look like two successful tycoons or godfathers. Next time wear dark glasses and smoke cigars. Thank you. I don't know about wearing the dark glasses. People, never mind. Let's move on to comments, questions, and concerns from my video on seller protections. I better turn the light on. When the clouds roll in, it gets very dark here. Black Lotus Boutique wrote, "I'm a top-rated seller with 30-day returns. Love the new policy, but not too happy about the $6 coupon towards the shipping. The feedback and deduction up to 50% is great. The buy again button I think will be a great feature also. I have shared your videos to help other sellers on eBay Facebook groups. I wanted to say also the new feature they have in place for a better background is great, but will help if all will be able to use it. Thank you for another informative video, Joe, as always. I have a suggestion that I think sellers could benefit from. I would like to see eBay come out with a feature that could keep your listings in order of A to Z. When I have to look for one of my listings, I'm having to scroll through all my listings just to find that one listing. If eBay had a feature such as this, it would be easier to find your one listing with just a click. Say, for instance, you're looking for Laura Geller highlighter palette. You may have 15 different Laura Geller products. So click on the L, for instance, and everything that starts with that letter will pop up in order. I'm wondering if anyone else can relate to this issue when making a change to one listing and not in bulk. Thanks in advance, Joe. It is sometimes difficult to find a particular listing that you may want to look for that you have listed. For instance, let's say I'm looking for a 1956 Chevy hubcap. I will click my store icon, and then I will just click 1956 Chevy, and I will see what comes up. So that's the way I've always done it. But I'm always happy to get your ideas like this. I think they're very constructive. Crosswalk Larry wrote, "Top-rated seller that offers 30-day returns. I don't like the $6 offered by eBay towards a snap return. This won't cover much for heavy items like you said. What they should do first is enforce my policies of 30-day buyer pays return or my rarely no returns for things like books. My feedback shows I'm a good seller. But if they want a return not as described, the buyer should have to prove the statement. Of course, a real fishy buyer would just put a scratch on the item themselves. LOL. Skinny Cow wrote, "The new SNAP protection is a good start, but it's rather discriminatory. US-based sellers only. What about sellers based in Canada, Australia, England, or elsewhere? Seems to me eBay is an American company, so it will look after American sellers more than sellers from other nations. I myself would like to see you guys protected as well. But I'm thinking maybe, and this is only conjecture on my part, maybe they're testing the waters here to see how things work, and once they find out they're a success, they'll expand to other regions? Jim Burns wrote, I see a bird already has moved into your birdhouse. Charles Foreman wrote, Joe, I see you have your first resident in the birdhouse at the 5-minute 12-second mark. How did you get one so quick? As I put one up in January and still no interest from the birds at all, and not even sat up high on the wall. Charles in the UK. Well, Charles, one thing I did was once I got the birdhouse set in place, I went out daily and I put bird seed on either side of it to attract the local flocks. And apparently it worked because I do have at least one resident in the birdhouse. Biz Hacks wrote, Fitchy people making fake eBay accounts need to be jailed. Like Jailbird Fitch. Ha ha ha! Bibliophile wrote, Great info as usual. I'm rated above average. I don't worry about being top rated. Hopefully the new seller protections will carry over to everyone. This is only fair and logical. Joseph George wrote, Joe, one of your past videos helped me. I had a buyer buy an item but wanted me to ship it to a different address. I told the buyer I couldn't do that. I told him I was canceling the order and for him to change the shipping address. He didn't repurchase, so I blocked him. I learn a lot from your channel, so keep up the good work. Deborah Kubler wrote, I'm a top-rated plus seller, and I'm wondering who determines whether it's a snag case, the seller or eBay. What I think is going to happen, again, this is conjecture on my part, if a seller gets what he claims is a false snag case, we would then call eBay and hopefully be able to show the representatives messages in the eBay contact flow where the buyer admits he purchased the wrong size, wrong color, etc. Mary Jones wrote, will false item not as described be removed from our service metrics, or will they remain? In the past, as you know, they have always remained. I believe once October 1st comes and these new rules take place, they will be removed. Svetozar Stoli wrote, is the white background tool going to spread worldwide for both mobile and desktop at any point? That's a question a lot of people have been asking, so let me jump on that right now. Right now, it's only on the mobile app. They're saying maybe next year for desktop, but right now it's only on the mobile app, and eBay states that if you're listing on the mobile app, your first picture and only your first picture will default to the automatic white background. So what I'm saying is if you were selling, let's just say, a flower pot, and you posted 4 pictures of your flower pot, the very first picture would be automatically defaulted to a white background by eBay. Okay, you with me on this? But the catch is, as I said last week, this feature is not rolled out to everybody yet. I don't have a time frame when everybody will get it. I do know that everybody that went to eBay Open have it already, and I do believe they've rolled it out to some other people since then. It's a gradual thing. I'll talk more about the mobile app once I finish the questions, comments, and concerns. Janet Hayter wrote, you frequently refer to 30-day returns. I have 60-day returns, not free returns. Is this having an effect on my store? I was TRS for many years, but now I'm above standard. When I return to top-rated status, do I need to change to 30-day returns? You don't need to change to 30-day returns if you now have 60-day returns. But if you don't have 30-day returns, then yes, you would want to change to 30-day returns. I've had 30-day returns now for a long time. And I said from day one, and everybody knows it, I said I will never do 60-day returns, and I will never do free returns. Joey has kept his promise. Tom K. wrote, hi, just found you and I love your energy. I viewed this video and I have a question. I started in February and now I'm a power seller, top rated level. The question is, all I read was going to get to this level, I had to offer free 30-day returns, which I don't like because of the many returns from buyer error, etc. You mentioned I can change to buyer paid 30-day returns and the item not as described scam being stopped to a degree. I would love to offer 30-day buyer paid returns, but will I lose power top rated seller? I can't seem to find the truth, and you sound like you have the knowledge to handle this. Thank you in advance for your time. You can be a top-rated seller by offering 30-day returns where the buyer pays return shipping, because that's what I am now. I'm a top-rated seller, and I'm not offering free returns. However, I am not a top-rated plus. A top-rated plus is a person who offers the free returns. I'm not that guy. I hope that answers your question. Mustafa Darar wrote, "Hi Joe, I just got informed by eBay that my account has been upgraded to eBay Concierge. What is that? Is it any good? Selling for eBay over 12 years, being a top-rated seller for many years, I had no idea such a thing existed. Please give a few seconds to explain how it works in your next video." Mustafa, you just hit the lottery, the eBay lottery. You are a winner. eBay Concierge is great. It's excellent. What it means is anytime you have a problem on eBay, you'll click on the help, then you'll click on the contact us, and there'll be a phone number there. You do not need any ID, any clarification code anymore. All you do is direct dial that number right there on your desk or from your iPhone, and that phone will be picked up within seconds by a customer representative here in the United States. No more going to the Philippines or India or anywhere else. No more will the customer rep say to you, "I understand what your problem is, sir, but I do not have the authority to help you." Those days, my friend, are over for you. You will have a representative that can act on any problem that you present to them. In fact, you know what I want you to do? I don't want you to do it, but it might be a good idea. Go out and buy a lottery ticket tonight, because your luck is great. I'm not a gambler myself, but if you're feeling lucky, Mustafa, go out and buy a ticket because you hit the eBay lottery. Joseph George wrote, "Joe, I sell in toys and collectibles. Here's my red flag warning. I'll let somebody ask 2 questions about an item. Once it gets beyond that, I immediately block them and ignore all other questions." The last comment I'm going to read is from Mary Deathy Deals. "Thanks for answering my question. Wish I would have asked something more earth-shattering, but that's always the way of things. On your wheel covers, the proper answer is that's what junkyards are for. You go measure. You may have a bit of bulldog in your DNA. Glad you pigeonholed the dude regarding fishy people. It's pretty dang easy to open another account. Love your accent. Thanks." The interesting part about that is when I was at eBay Open, everybody I met remarked about my accent. Now, I'm not talking about eBay sellers, eBay employees. I understand that. I'm talking about regular civilians. You know, the ham and eggers. People who are on vacation with their families, like in the pool, in the lazy river. Everybody I talked to said something like, "Man, you must be from New York." And I'd say, "Well, how did you know?" And they'll say, "Because of the way you talk." I mean, everyone. It was crazy. But yeah, now let's get on to the new topics of today's video. But firstly, we're going to have a drink from the Fox News Cup O' Life. And yes, the Cup O' Life is here with me today. This is the Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Very, very good. Very good. Okay guys, first I want to discuss something that's upsetting me. The USPS acting in a very fishy manner. What they're doing, and this is not conjecture, this is fact. What they're doing is they're scanning items delivered sometimes 1 to 2 days before they've been delivered. I will cite 2 examples. First, me as a buyer. You may remember several weeks ago I told you I ordered some printer ink that I needed really badly. It was supposed to come by a certain day and it didn't. I checked the tracking number and it said it was delivered, and it wasn't delivered. Okay? That was on a Saturday. Monday afternoon, the mailman brought the item. That was scanned as delivered. It even said delivered to front door on Saturday. And that never happened. That was an out and out lie. So the other day I had a customer, eBay customer. She called me directly. Not sure how she got my number, but she called me directly and said, "Joe, I bought hubcaps from you the other day. I checked the tracking and the tracking said it was delivered to my house today, and it wasn't. I didn't get them." I said, "I'm not surprised at what you're telling me. Lately, the post office is scanning items as delivered 1 to 2 days before they're delivered, so they keep their promise of their 2 to 3 day priority mail delivery." I told the lady the same thing happened to me. I said, "Give it 1 more day and I'll bet the package shows up tomorrow at your doorstep." Sure enough, the next day she contacted me through eBay Contact and said, "Joe, thank you very much for the information. You were right. The package arrived today." So the problem is, guys, it seems to me that the post office is scanning items as delivered 1 to 2 days before they're actually delivered. I would like to know from you guys, have any of you had this experience, either as a buyer or a seller, especially recently? Please comment below. I'd like to know how widespread this is. I don't think it's a regional thing. I think it's going on all over the country. And I'd like to know if any of you guys have any idea what we can do about it, if anything. Next, I'll talk a little bit about the mobile app. I don't use the mobile app all that much, and I never use it for listing because I have a Mac, and I find that much easier to use. In the past, I have said that I would use the mobile app only in situations where I find myself separated from the Mac and I have nothing but my iPhone for a long duration of time. So this week, I found myself in such a situation. So I decided to explore with the mobile app to see what it could do. First, I relisted something that I had previously sold, and then I came upon the function of sending offers to watches. Now, you may remember several months ago I conducted an experiment sending offers to watches, and it failed miserably, and I said I wouldn't do it again. Since I had some extra time to kill, I decided to send offers to watches through the mobile app. I found it very easy and convenient to do. Works like a charm. I sent out quite a few offers to watches. So let's say we're talking 25 items. Now, there were some items that had 9 watches, whereas there were some that only had 1 or 2. So even though I sent them out for 25 items, it went out to more like probably 100 people, if you follow my drift as to what I'm saying. The send offers to watches is good for 48 hours. Out of all those, do you want to know how many people actually made a purchase from me? The answer is 1. One person for $15. Once again, I will come out here on camera and say, I find the send offers to watches an incredible failure on eBay Motors. However, I do not think that's the case on eBay Core. From what I experienced with the mobile app the other day, I can see that it's come quite a ways, and I'm going to continue to explore with it as time goes on. I'm experiencing a glitch. This glitch has been going on for many months when relisting an item. Let's say a person returns an item. It could be if they return something. It could be if they don't pay for something. There are many facets in which you would relist the same item. As you scroll to the bottom, it will say relist with fees, and it's pre-checked for you. You don't have to relist with the fees if you don't want, but it's the option. So I click on relist, and once again it failed. I got an error message saying your item did not relist. So I had to manually go back to the item and relist it that way. I made a post on the Facebook groups the other day, and it seems as though people are saying half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. I would like your opinion. Are you finding that when you try and relist an item that a person has returned, or maybe they haven't paid for it or whatever, that you're having problem relisting that item? Please tell us in the comments below. One more thing I want to cover is buyouts. I'm sure most of you guys are in niche businesses, and quite often you're given the opportunity to buy out a competitor. Now it could be his whole store, or maybe he's just downsizing and wants to sell you a certain percentage of his inventory. But as I've said in the past, I love buyouts. They don't come often enough for me, especially the huge ones. In my opinion, and my past experience, I find these big buyouts usually come once every 3 to 5 years. Okay? But believe it or not, this year, 2019, I've had 3 major buyouts where I bought out either the entire contents of someone's store, or they downsized and sold off a huge chunk of inventory to me. I have never experienced a year like this with buyouts. It seems like everybody is either A, closing up and going out of business, or B, significantly downsizing. Now, most of the time when you do a buyout, the person is obviously in your business, they know what it's about, and they work with you and everything works out great. In every buyout I've done in my life, things have always worked out great, with the exception of the most recent one. I'm sure all of you guys know what hoarders are. There's even a TV show about it. I don't watch it. Sometimes if I watch the American Pickers show, where they go around to people, it's always somebody old, over 70, and they have these warehouses, I mean packed solid. Sometimes these guys can't even walk over the debris, and they'll pull out this thing from the bottom and say, how much is this? And the person will say, I don't want to sell it. I mean, the thing is rusted, it's full of dirt, it's been under there for 35 years, and they don't want to sell it. That's something that has always mystified me. Anything I have is for sale for the right price. I'm not in love with anything. But as I've said, luckily I've never run into anybody like this, but the exception is I had run into one this week. I'm going to shoot a screenshot up here right now. I hope I'm going to put a screenshot up of a huge mess. Now guys, let me impress upon you, this person has a stack, I swear to God on the cross, 5 feet high, this high, solidly packed in his lot, and it extends all the way back and around. I'm talking, there's got to be 20,000 hubcaps there, all right? So I went to him. I know this person. I know who he is, and I know his reputation, and it's not good. But this person called me and asked me if I wanted to do a buyout. So I said, sure. I went there and I looked, and I was a little bit leery and skeptical, because so many of those pieces are worthless now because he's left them there for 35, 40 years. This 70-year-old guy has left them out there for 35 or 40 years, and they've rotted into the ground. I've only seen this once before in my life with another old guy who had all these old classic cars that were worth money in the day, and he wouldn't sell them. He was really peculiar, and these cars rotted into the ground, their chassis. It was pathetic. And this is the same case, and quite frankly, it bothers me. It upsets me greatly because I know that this stuff had value. And this person, this is no rich guy. This is a guy, one of those guys that doesn't work. I don't want to get too much into this whole situation here, but we agreed on a price per cap. I was going to buy a lot. So the first day I went up there, I loaded my car full. Everything worked out great. Second day I went up there, was pretty good. He started copping a little bit of an attitude, which I did expect, but okay. Third day I go up there, he's in full swing with his attitude. You know, he's one of these guys that doesn't want to see anybody else make money. I'm sure you guys have run into somebody like this. I don't care if you're paying him $50 or $100 per item. The fact that he knows you're going to make money on that $100 item pisses him off greatly. Well, this is one of those guys. You know, guys, I try not to talk bad about people, as long as they're not fishy people, that is. But this particular individual just really, he can really upset me because, you know, there are some people I buy from, and I'm sure you buy from. Let's just say you buy the whole lot for $5,000. The person thanks you. Thank you. Thank you for buying my items. I hope you make a ton of money on them. And they take that check and they run right to the bank and they're happy. And that's the way it should be. Okay? Sometimes I sell items to people, my competition on eBay. Or they'll call me up and say, Joe, could you sell me these for, let's just say, 50 bucks, whatever. And then they'll resell it to their customer and they'll add money on. And that's fine. I don't care because I got 50 bucks from them and I'm happy to get it. But this particular guy is just plain miserable. He hates everybody. And on the fourth day, the fact that I don't know what got to him, but man, did he lash out at me. And I said to him, let me tell you something. You can take all these hubcaps and you can fill in the blank. I said, you and me are done. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to see you. I don't care what you do with these things. For me to walk away from that kind of stuff, you have to understand. I'm having a hard time right now conveying my thoughts to you without jumping into some four-letter words, because this guy and me, we just went at it non-stop. You should see the things he let rot up there. And not just those 20,000 hubcaps. Cars. He had cars. They all rotted away. Oh my God. You know, he really screwed himself because the majority of those caps you saw in the picture are plastic. You cannot scrap plastic. Now you can scrap stainless steel. I do it myself. I scrap aluminum. You cannot scrap plastic hubcaps or anything plastic like that for money. They are getting dumpsters put up there, and he's going to have to load, or the backhoe will load it, every one of those plastic hubs in the dumpster and get scrapped. He will get zero for them. Had he dealt with me, he would have got paid for them. Well, I'm just, and this is somebody I had dealings with many years ago, and he was the same way. Now he's 70 years old, and he's even worse. Ugh. Man. Well, guys, I hope you found that story interesting. I don't usually like to, I never come out here and rant about people, but I had a rant this time because I just don't understand the mindset of somebody like that. I really don't. I swear it. If any one of you guys bought something from me and I sold it to you and you turned around and doubled your money, More power to you, man. You deserve it. You worked for it, you deserve it. As long as I get my price, I don't care what you do. But there are some people that are so miserable and they hate to see anybody make money. I've only run into maybe 2 people like this in my life. Anyway, guys, I gotta stop. I gotta stop and take another drink. Fox News Cup of Lifetime. All right, let me bring this video home right now. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. Each week I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you be successful on eBay. If you think I did a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm appreciated and on point. If you don't think I did a good job, please tell me in the comment section and I'll be glad to address your comment next week. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems, I'm still making money online, and I've never worn a mask. Never once. Some say I could be a CEO or a CFO of my own company. Hey, you never know. Guys, your comments will drive next week's video. And if you've had any experience with hoarders, like I have, especially miserable ones, I want to hear about that. Please be as specific as you can. Thank you for watching my video. Go out there, rock on, make a lot of eBay sales, and peace! And guys, after that story I told you about the hoarder, that miserable person, that makes me think of another miserable person. And it makes me want to tell you 3 words. And those 3 words are, don't be bitchy!